audience. We've got Julie's people, we've got Gun Talk's people.
Yeah.
They're all going to tune in.
All together.
They're all together here in the room with us. Well, you know, it's raining outside. We always like to film Guns and Gear in the middle of monsoon season. It's really fun that way.
Yes, flash flooding outside,
yes.
actually.
Yeah, officially,
is,
we could probably launch a kayak in the parking lot.
We could probably do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're getting out of the rain, coming back into the studio, just trying to do some stuff. So you're going to hear thunder, you're going to hear rain, and hopefully if there's a tornado, you're going to see the whole crew dive into the fireplace.
There's
what's
room
going to happen.
Most of us.
So that's what's happening. Welcome in, Gun Talk Live. We're here with Julie.
Hey.
Julie Golob, Smith & Wesson. We have a lot of guns to talk about. We're going to be attempting to monitor comments.
I do. I have my
You know, we are in rural
ready to
Mississippi, actually at Boondocks Training Academy. And as you could maybe see from the opening shot, we're in this pavilion that we turn into this studio. And then they have a range 100 yards down the road, which makes it really convenient to shoot guns.
It's a beautiful facility.
It's awesome.
It's absolutely
It's great. And it's just outside of Jackson, Mississippi. But we thought we'd do a little live while we're waiting for the rain and thunder to quit so we can actually do some TV stuff where we got to have like good audio. Julie, you have a lot of different Smith & Wesson guns here.
We have quite a few.
And these are mostly all new.
Mostly, yes.
So tell us what we have. I don't know where to start.
We have everything from small caliber, 380, 40. We have a 10 millimeter or two, revolvers, striker fire guns, everything. A little bit of everything.
So, you know, if you have comments or questions, please do chime in. We're going to attempt to monitor them and answer, you know, if you have anything interesting to say, let's say it. So we were just kind of talking about the M&P 380 Shield EZ,
yes.
Which I think some people, when you brought it out, went, but why? I don't get it.
Right.
Until you shoot it and you play around with it, because you know the whole thing is it's easy to load, easy to rack. I mean, I could probably do it with like 2 fingers. I mean, it's easy, and shooting it is great.
It is, and this gun is specifically for that customer who wants a simple firearm to use. A lot of times we push that person towards a revolver.
Right.
They struggle with the double action.
Right.
This is for that person who really wants a semi-auto and something that's going to be soft shooting, and they can do that.
And you have a couple varieties now. So this has been out for a year or two.
Yep.
You've got one that comes with, where is it? We've got one with a laser on it somewhere. Maybe it's not out here.
It's not out here, but it does come. We do have that offering straight from the factory.
Okay.
It comes in trace mounted laser.
And then we've got
and then this guy.
the Goldfinger.
Yes, that's a good name. This looks like a custom gun. It really does, because it has all of those little accents and features, but it is the same 380 Shield EZ platform, but you also have a little bit bigger grip safety here, a flat face trigger, and some porting. And
when we were filming this earlier, we were saying, you know, like, yes, it looks cool, which, I mean, obviously that's the most important thing, just looking cool. But flat face trigger, porting, those things do help you shoot better.
Absolutely. And the thing that, you know, a lot of people with smaller hands, this firearm is very well suited for someone with small hands. That flat face trigger is going to allow you to press it anywhere.
They can reach it easier?
They can reach it easily, and it's just easier to shoot.
Yeah.
Another easy.
Easy. Yeah, I mean, and I've said for a while, I'm kind of a fan of a 380 that's not a tiny gun.
Right.
Because it's generally easier to shoot, and you guys took it kind of the next level to make everything about it easy.
Well, you mentioned why. Well, this is why. There's nothing really like it in the market. So I feel like we've hit it out of the park. And it shoots so soft.
Yeah.
This will be the firearm I transition my young girls to center fire with.
So another thing that's important about what makes this work is maybe 15, 20 years ago, 380 ACP ammo was not very good. It was anemic. It was like, but now you've got better projectiles, better loads.
Yes.
I mean, you've seen it. I mean, you've done some ballistic testing and seen it in action.
It's incredible what we've been able to do with it, but there's also a lot more practice ammo available. So you can get ammo to practice. You have ammo that you can use for personal or home defense, and it's suitable.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think what we've seen in our ballistics testing, gel and water, you know, apples to apples loads, if you're looking at a 9 versus a 380, I mean, a 9 might be in the, you know, 12 inches of penetration, and the 380 might be like 11,
Right.
10 and a half.
Right.
It's just not a big difference.
You know, it's in the beginning of CCW, it was all about the 45
Yeah,
and how
big,
much we
go
could
big.
carry and all of that. But with the advances in ammunition and platforms like this, it's just making the CCW market just accessible for so many more people.
Yeah, and you know, we like to argue about calibers. I do too. But you know, the secret is if you actually just hit the target in the right place, that's like more important than whether it was a 45 or a 380.
Absolutely. It's
345s that go over their head.
not so effective.
No.
No.
It's not great.
Nothing wrong with 45 though.
But now that we've just said it doesn't matter, let's talk about big calibers.
Yes.
What do we have here? This is
The model 610.
610.
The introduction.
There's a 10
of
in
that.
there. What does that
Yes,
mean?
10 millimeter. It's pretty awesome. And we have 2 different versions.
People are excited about the 10. Now this, we were just talking about it, you can shoot 40
Yes.
Smith & Wesson.
Yes.
So it's kind of like, you know, for those who know the whole 38 Special, 357 Magnum, you can shoot 40s in here, real pleasure to shoot.
Right.
But if you want to go full bore, so to
Right.
speak.
These are even suitable for competition in USPSA practical shooting.
Are they? Yeah.
We have 2 different caliber divisions in Revolver, and one is major, which you're limited to 6 rounds.
Right.
And then you can shoot minor with 8 rounds. So this is another option if you have a lot of 40. And
That's
you
an
wanna
interesting
shoot,
idea.
And you want to shoot major.
Because I know you competition shooters like to game it.
You competition shooters.
Yeah, you guys like to game it. And you're like, sweet, I'm going to get a big old heavy revolver and I'm going to shoot 40 in it and it's not going to move.
No.
Right?
No, especially with a 6.5 inch.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, you've got the big dog.
Yeah.
The big dog here. And also, this would be pretty cool for handgun hunting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you can take down a deer if you need to with 40 or 10 millimeter. It's certainly suitable if you're, you know, in the West where you have mountain lions, bear, wolves.
Four-legged critter protection. The thing about, and I know most of you guys know this, but Smith & Wesson knows a thing or two about revolvers. So this is a really, really dry, unloaded gun. But it's all about the trigger for me. And the single action trigger is just, I think the technical term for that is redonkulous. That's what they say in the TAC magazines.
Yeah.
So what else do we have? You know, I'm interested about this Shield Performance Center 4-inch gun.
Right.
This is cool.
This is pretty neat. This is our first ever 4-inch shield. So it's exclusive to the Performance Center at this time. And we have different varieties. We have the standard no porting, no optic 4-inch gun that is really ideal for someone who wants that longer slide, longer barrel.
Yeah.
Something that shoots more like a full-size gun, easy to conceal because that's the part that's the easiest to conceal, but it's still in that shield size.
And this is a Performance Center gun?
It is.
So it's got, you have kind of the, what do they call it, the Performance Center action, the trigger.
Action, yes.
Okay.
And it just, that combined with the 2.0 platform, you've got that extra texturing here and there. You've got the M2.0 sear, and then the tuned action from the Performance Center is very nice.
The 4-inch gun in this size has this awesome balance.
It's so thin
Yeah.
that it feels really good in the hand, even if you have larger hands. But it does have really great balance.
So speaking of thin, with this gun, somehow you guys have put a red dot on it.
I know, right?
This is like, and this is kind of where we're headed. I think we've been trying to get there for a few years. People are going, yeah, red dots on guns, that's helpful.
Cue
This is
thunder.
why we're inside, guys. Red dots on guns are awesome. You know, when a competition shooter says, I want to shoot as fast and as accurate as I possibly can, and I'm given the option on an open division gun, what do they do?
They put a red dot on there. Yeah, absolutely. This is really neat because up until this point, there haven't been red dot optics that are thin enough to mount onto something this super slim.
Right.
And so the Performance Center has a ported option and a non-ported option with a red dot. You can get it with a red dot or without optics ready.
Okay.
And this is really a game changer for those who have vision issues.
Yeah.
And they have a really hard time lining up the sights. That comes with great fiber optic sights right out of the box. But if you have astigmatism or you really have issues with your vision, this is going to make shooting so much easier and better for you.
All right, so people go, that's neat, but I've never shot with a red dot. Julie, I know you've done a lot of that. Do you have any tips for people when they're starting to get used to, I put a red dot on the gun, What do I need to do?
It's like this great window, and you're like, where is the dot in
Yeah,
that
you're
thing?
going like this.
My tip is always look for the front sight, because the second you see the front sight, you're going to pick up the dot.
The red dot's going to kind of fall in there.
But a lot of people talk about co-witnessing.
Yeah.
They want the ability to use the red dot as a front sight.
Right.
I don't do that. Once you get
There's a
this thing
debate about
zeroed-
the whole
yeah,
co-witnessing
there is.
thing.
It's great to be able to co-witness if you need to.
Right.
But if you want to shoot as fast and accurately as possible, once that dot is zeroed, just shoot.
So what do the open shooters do? They don't worry about co-witnessing?
Oh no, because
Okay.
it's still lining up sights.
Yeah.
It's still that alignment factor.
Yeah,
If I see the
actually
dot where I
that
want-
defeats the purpose
Exactly.
of the red dot.
Right.
You know, what else can a red dot do for someone as a shooter?
You know, it eliminates the alignment altogether.
Yeah.
So again, zero it, pinpoint accuracy where you want it, point of aim, point of impact. And then you're going to be able to see your movement, your arc of movement on target. So if you really want to work on that accuracy, a red dot's going to help you see how you move and engage the trigger smoothly while the dot just kind of bounces around the center of the target. So you can learn how to shoot much more accurately.
So we say with iron sights, focus on the front sight, hard focus on the front sight. Is that true for the red dot? Do you focus on the dot, or are you able to kind of focus on the target, or is there some?
The beauty of the red dot is you can do both.
Yeah.
So when I shoot, if it's a really close target, I shoot through the dot. So I just
It's
superimpose
there,
it.
but
right.
okay.
But if I need to shoot at a target at 50 yards, I'm looking at the dot, exactly where it
Hard
is on the
focus
target.
on the dot.
Exactly. So it depends on the
Okay.
target and the situation.
Yeah.
But for CCW especially, we've talked about, you know, are you going to be able to see the sights in
Sure.
in a situation? Well, you're going to be able to find the dot.
Yeah, and in those defensive scenarios, you know, on our first-person defender show and other kind of tests we've done, people look at the bad guy.
Yeah.
You know, it's really hard unless you have millions of rounds of shooting.
Even then,
it's really hard
it's
to
different.
go front sight. No, you're going, oh, bad guy. You know.
No, and it's even easy to do in competition.
Yeah.
You know, you just get so sucked into looking at targets.
Yeah.
That 15-yard target pops up, and all of a sudden you've got a miss on there because you weren't paying attention to sights.
Do you ever have that internal dialogue where you're like, Julie, look at the front sight?
Usually it's after it's all said and done on a stage, but.
Then you can reflect back and go, I don't know if I saw the front sight on a few of those
right.
shots.
But I do go through a competition drill in my head, thinking of all the things: grip, sight alignment, whatever, front sight before the buzzer goes. So hopefully,
front sight. Yeah.
You know, memory is always interesting when the buzzer goes.
What's our tan guy here?
This
or
is
Coyote tan, I don't
well,
know.
FDE is the
FDE,
official.
whatever, yeah.
This is the M2.0 in 9mm. This is just our standard full-size version.
Cool.
We have so many different flavors of this with
you do.
color,
Yes.
thumb safety, no thumb safety. It's really a neat setup.
All right, I know you guys have been talking about it for a long time, but there are always people who don't know. What is the whole M2.0?
So we've taken the standard M&P and just created a second iteration of it with some neat features: a better trigger, that crisp break that people love.
Yep.
We also have 4 backstrap sizes with this instead of the standard 3.
What is the fourth one? Where does that fall?
It's a medium large.
Medium
So
large.
small, medium large, and large.
Okay.
So it really allows you to find the right fit for your hand.
Fine tune it.
The thing that I appreciate about it the most is the fact that it does have a steel chassis inside the frame.
That's different from before?
Yes.
Okay.
And you wouldn't think it would make that much different, but it makes it so much easier to track recoil and control recoil when you're shooting quickly.
Add some rigidity?
It does.
Yeah.
A lot less flex in the gun and just easier to track.
Yeah, cool. So what else have you been doing fun?
Well, getting ready for shooting seasons,
Yeah.
spring and all
So
that.
it's raining out here. Do you have any experience shooting in the rain? Any stories from shooting in the rain?
Oh, yes. And I'm heading to the NRA Yankee Cup in 2 weeks. And I remember vividly one year we were shooting in very similar conditions, and my scope literally filled up with water as I'm standing there in the position.
You're waiting to go.
Yep, and ready, and the buzzer goes on the plates, and it's just like splash.
Really?
It was crazy.
So you draw and there's like water pouring
There's
out
water
of the
everywhere.
scope?
Yeah,
And
nobody was dry that year.
you can still see the dot?
I saw a couple of dots.
Oh, a few dots.
Because
Fun.
of just the way
Yeah.
it worked out, but yeah, that's.
Pick the biggest, brightest dot and use that one?
Yeah, you try. So people will use towels. I've like converted this little cup lid thing to keep on that I attach to my belt so that when I draw it falls
Yep.
off. And
Yeah.
yeah, that's ultimate in gaming.
Ultimate gaming. Here's your gaming tips for you right now. Yeah, you know, it's funny. We talk about shooting with wet hands. I mean,
Yeah.
extra texture is a good
Huge.
thing.
Yes.
I mean, I like a pretty aggressive texture. And down here, I try not to just shoot in thunderstorms, but it's
almost
humid,
always
it's
humid.
hot. And so your hands are just wet.
Yes.
And it makes a difference.
It does. It makes a huge difference. You know, the nice thing about the M&P line in general is with 9mm and higher, we have this pretty aggressive. It's just the right amount, but with a 380, it's a little bit less aggressive.
You don't need it.
We don't need it. So we kind of gauge the texture of the frame based on, you know, the application and how much you really need. Because the 380 is not going to be the same as the other calibers.
Yeah, it's not hard to hold on to.
No.
But I mean, you know, with a smooth gun, or what is it, Jerry? He used to say he likes his, you know, the revolver's like a bar of soap.
Yeah, yeah.
Like I don't know how he holds on to it.
Well, he's also manipulating so much. You know, he's changing hands while he's reloading. He wants something to be able to slip around in his hand.
Yeah.
Once I draw, I don't want the gun to move.
Yeah, because you know, if you're shooting and it could be just a little bit, where it's
Right.
just kind of doop, and it's like your hands kind of moving off the gun a little bit.
Yeah.
You don't want to have to re-grip.
Right, right.
So, what else? Favorite calibers? Favorite cartridges? I know KJ's monitoring comments and questions.
Nice hair.
Oh, we got nice hair comment. For me or Julie? Which one?
I think you know.
There's a hair thing going on here.
Where's Julie going to be shooting? What's your schedule?
So Bianchi Cup is coming up. There's 2 regional events that are flanking Bianchi. So we have the Flagler Cup and the Cameron Cup. And then
Are those kind of similar
exactly
styles?
same course of fire.
So it's a prep.
Yeah,
A
so
good prep for it.
Prep and review. One is before and one is after. And then after that, I'll be switching to the Carry Optics division in USPSA, practical shooting, using our Smith & Wesson Performance Center core
Cool.
with the new Trijicon SRO.
Carry optics.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun. If you've ever been interested in starting in competing in open division in a shooting sport, really look hard at that Carry Optics division because you have a gun that's always going to work.
Yeah.
Easy to access. You just mount your favorite optic on it.
So that's kind of a way to, like you said, it's kind of the open division light. You're like, you don't have to
That
have
is
the totally
literally what
tricked
people
out.
call it.
Is it? Yeah.
Open light.
Yeah.
Yeah. But you don't have to worry
Because
about
I'm intimidated by the open guns. I'm like, I bet that's awesome. I don't even. You have a handle on the side, and you've got like, what in the heck's
And
going
you have
on?
to shoot very specific ammunition. You know, the
Yeah.
chances of it not functioning in conditions like this
Yeah.
increase. So having a striker fire gun like the tried and true M&P core with that optic on there, it's a fun combination.
Yeah, the optics, the open guns to me are like, I don't know, like Total Recall guns. They're like, I don't know what movie I'm watching
Yeah,
right now.
I know.
But they shoot. I mean, what is so hard about Bianchi? Because all the competitors are like, Bianchi is this weird, hard competition because it asks you to do a lot of things.
Yes. You know, I look at Bianchi as a different course of fire than everything else I shoot because I very rarely shoot the same thing twice in other competitions. Maybe in Steel Challenge, obviously you have the set fixed course of fire, but you have a throwaway run and you can push your speed. Bianchi is 4 stages and you don't get any alibis. If it doesn't go just the way you want it to, it goes south pretty quick. And there's an X-ring and it's fixed.
I was going to say, and to win it, you got to be not have very many things out of the X-ring, right?
Exactly.
I mean,
I think the current world record is there's 192 rounds, so 1920 with I believe it's 188 or 186 X's.
192 shots.
Shots.
And 188 of them were in the X.
Yes.
Lord have mercy.
Hey, how's that trigger on that performance shield? Performance Center shield?
Performance Center Shield.
Which
Oh, it's nice.
How does it compare to an aftermarket trigger? I mean, is there
Yeah.
a big giant difference there?
It's upgraded from the regular shield,
yes,
right?
It is.
Because I noticed it when I picked it up.
Yes.
I was like, wait a minute, is this different? Oh, the question is, I'm sorry, repeat the question, sir.
Stan is asking.
Stan says, what's the difference in the trigger on the Performance Center shield versus aftermarket or versus a standard shield?
It's in the fine details of it.
Yeah.
So someone who's new to shooting is probably going to pick up both and not really tell the difference.
Sure.
But if you are, a shooter, you're going to feel that it's just crisper. It's just got a little bit of the roughness taken out. It has a really positive reset. that is really desired in striker fire. It's our whole goal with striker fire guns is to make them feel like 1911s, you know, at the end of the day. And so anything that you can do to make that hinged trigger with that tension feel crisper is better.
And it's funny because I remember when the original M&P came out, I'm looking at it, and sometimes I can get wrapped up in the stats and specs and numbers of things, and I'm like, okay, wait, it's not any different in size than a 1911, you know, width and,
Grip angle
but
and
you know,
everything, yep.
there are a lot of similarities, but it's lighter, it holds more ammo.
Yeah.
You know, it ruins it for the people who love 1911s because you start going, but I love my 1911s, but I don't really need one with what you guys are able to do with striker fire guns now.
It's so far advanced than what it was, you know, 10, 15 years ago.
Yeah.
And the fact that we have so many different variations. This is the full-size M&P M2.0. Here we have a compact version, a 4-inch version. We have a 3.6-inch version. So between the Shield lineup with, you know, our new 4-inch performance centers and the standard Shield size, there's something for everybody in there. It's not just one caliber, one plastic gun out there.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. So you know, what guns are you guys excited about? What questions do you have?
Josh is asking, when is the full size going to be optics ready?
Oh, when is the full size M&P?
Full size M&P.
We had the core.
We do have the core. That is not currently what we offer in the 2.0 lineup.
Okay.
So it's one of those things that's not here. I can't wait
He
for it to
picks out the
happen.
one thing. There's like
There's one
100
thing.
different models, right?
But everybody's very excited about it.
An M&P 2.0, but optics ready is what
Optics
we're
ready.
waiting.
Yes. So you're combining that steel chassis with an optics ready M&P. There's a lot of excitement about that. So
it's probably, you know, if enough of you ask, probably it's on the way at some point, I imagine.
I'll keep asking for you.
Yeah. She can't say. I don't know. So.
If you were to launch a hair care product for the gun-centric guy, what would your lineup be named?
This is
Oh,
good.
all right. This is a good
This
one.
is a question for me.
He's pretending to read it. It's not a question from a viewer. So if you were to launch a hair care line of products for the gun folks, it's like Black Rifle Coffee,
Exactly.
but for hair, for like this kind of stuff here.
Oh my goodness.
We could really work on this. This could take a while. You know, this is, what's that? Blowback.
Blowbacks. There you
Blowback, obviously, that's a contender.
go. Yeah.
Something to thinking about, like, you know, pomade and wax and, you know, gun cleaning, kind of the gun oil.
Right. Because you have beard
Hair
oil
lube.
and- yeah.
Hair lube, maybe? No? Is that weird? I don't know.
When is the 10 millimeter M&P coming out?
Another one we were talking about.
Another one.
When's the 10 millimeter M&P coming out?
My 10 millimeter people, I know and love you, and I will keep asking, I promise.
There's like, I don't know, there's like 98 10 millimeter people out there, and they are the most vocal people on the internet.
All right, guys, sound off. Are there more than 98 of you out there?
Right. I mean, I know it's fun, but like the gun companies go, yeah, but we look at how many numbers, right? Like they look at it. How many are we selling for 10, or how many other people are selling for 10?
And let's face it, 10 millimeter is a stout cartridge.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why we have it in heavy duty revolvers.
Mm-hmm.
And so there's a lot of R&D that goes along with that. Anytime you add that kind of power into a platform.
For the gun to hold up to it.
So.
And ammo.
Yeah.
I mean, there's like this heavy duty buffalo bore stuff that is, I mean, you know, on a regular gun that wasn't beefed up, it could, after thousands of rounds, it'll break the gun, possibly.
Right.
And then you have like target loads that no problem. It could probably, you could just upsize a regular gun. So you got to figure that out.
You have to think about all of the things. But I will keep asking for you, I promise.
All right, so this is what we should do. The M&P Pro, the one that's longer slide,
Yes.
do that in a 10. It's like the long slide 10.
With an optic?
That's my vote.
Woo.
That's my vote.
There you go.
M&P Pro and
All right,
10.
we'll add it to the list.
With yes, optics ready, obviously.
There we
we'll
go.
add another wrinkle to that. What other questions? Anything?
We
He's
got
just
some while
laughing.
left.
They're
I'm
just
gonna look at my feed
snarky
and-
remarks about hair. Any good ideas?
Ringo Gresham's mop top hair tamer.
What? Ringo Gresham's mop top hair tamer.
All
I
right,
like it.
I have a question. How would the Trijicon SRO change carry optics division for me? That's from Paul.
Yeah.
advancements in red dots, the combinations of the firearm working and what we're able to do with reliability. I've usually run the RMR in competition,
Right.
but the new SRO has just a little bit of bigger window.
Bigger window.
And so for a CCW option, having a smaller window is valuable because
Right.
it's easier to conceal. But we're seeing the combination of the old-fashioned tube optics, red dot
Right.
optics, with the super small, streamlined optics. Now we're getting a little bit in between, and that's what the SRO does. So I'm super excited to do that.
So it's the RMR but sized up, bigger window.
Sized up, and it also has a tubular effect. So
Okay.
it makes it easier. With an optic like this, you have a flat window.
Yeah.
So you're finding the dot can be a little bit of a challenge. You got to look for that front sight. Whereas with a tube shape, your eye automatically tries to line things up. And it makes
Interesting.
it just that much faster.
Well, and when competitors started using red dots, they were the tube optics
Right.
back in the day.
Right. With big heavy mounts and mounted to the frame, or
Yeah, the red dots technology. I mean, how has that changed?
it's evolved. Incredible evolution.
Yeah.
I remember the first red dot I put on a competition gun back in the 90s was like, let's hope it works.
Right.
And that was not slide mounted. And
Yeah.
then the second we started mounting optics to slides, that you want to test robust reliability, put an optic on a 45 or 40 or even a
Sure.
9mm, and you're gonna
Yeah,
see
it's
what
on the
life is.
slide.
Yeah.
It's not like, an optic on a gun just sits
Right,
there. I mean, a
right.
rifle, sits there.
Right.
It's shaking on the slide.
Is this year for 1920 at the Yankee?
Oh, if you cross your fingers for me, I'll do
Is
it.
this year for the 1920?
1920 is the perfect
It's
score at the Yankees.
Jedi.
And no woman has ever done it in the match. So I'll be working on it. I'll do my best. How's that?
How has competition shooting changed since you got it?
It's funny. Competition shooting has just evolved. So in the beginning, in practical shooting, it was all about defensive style. So you'd have short courses of fire that with a little practical flair. Maybe
Right.
you're at a restaurant and you have targets in front of you. But we've evolved from short courses of fire of 8, 12 rounds to there are some matches out there where I've shot a Safari-Land expedition match where we had a 47 round stage.
I would lose the heck where I am
If
at that
there's
point.
a lot going on. And so internationally, we kind of blend them both together. But the bottom line is we Americans, we like to shoot a lot of
Shoot
bullets.
more. Yeah,
And
of
so
course.
the sports have evolved to allow us to do that.
And it's fun, but it's also, for those of us who haven't run a lot of stages, you go, okay, where am I going next?
Right.
Where are all these targets?
Right.
Just missing
It's
targets
super
altogether.
easy to do. I did it that last match. I literally blew by a target because it was easy to do.
Right, there's so many of them.
There's so many of them, and you really have to have a choreographed plan.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How do you keep that in your head of where you're going to go next?
You just get used to it. You just
Yeah.
learn how to micromanage the moment. I
Break it
guess.
down into sections kind of thing?
Everything. I think about everything, where my feet are going to be, what I need to do, how
Yeah.
I need to present, what I need, the sights need to look like as they lift, and all that usually happens always under 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
yeah. It's fun.
It's fun. Well, maybe the rain's going to lighten up here for us.
I haven't heard any thunder lately.
I don't know. It's, I guess we'll see. Are we still able to canoe outside there, KJ?
Yep.
Yep.
We're good.
We're good. We're going to launch
We
the
could
boats.
Surf.
Yeah.
Yes.
So, you can chime in with questions and comments. We'll try to monitor stuff even after we're off the air. I know
Absolutely.
Julie will.
Yeah.
She's good about that. And thanks for watching. We're filming Guns and Gear stuff. New season starts in July.
With all of these things.
And we'll have all kinds of pretty stuff to show you. We're going to get out on the range this afternoon after this rain lifts and do some fun shooting. So thanks for watching Gun Talk Live.
Thanks, everybody.